All right, welcome to my course on business intelligence. So the reason why I'm making this course is I've been working with SQL Server, Oracle, Netezza, Postgres, it's a handful of databases for say about the last 3 years or so. Um, but my background actually was not in working with databases. My background in school was in economics and statistics. So I kind of found myself in this role accidentally as a database analyst. I was mentored heavily by a database administrator, and at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to pursue this as a career or not. And I think after about a year or so, it really just kind of felt like a good fit for me. And so I decided that I kind of wanted to pursue this as a career. The pay is great, the jobs are plentiful, and it makes sense. You can always add, excitement to your job by going out and learning new things. Building applications, doing machine learning algorithms, working for interesting companies. But at the end of the day, working with databases is just kind of fun. Uh, I guess fun is maybe not the word to use for everybody, but uh, anyway, I was trying to figure out how do I catch up with these other guys there that have been doing this for many years, um, and so I figured I could go back to school, but there's so many resources out there: Udemy, YouTube, Udacity, Coursera. There's just a ton of these MOOCs out there. But one thing that was a challenge for me was kind of tying it all together. So I came across Microsoft's webpage, and they've got a certification track. It's the MCSA and their MCSE. So you can basically get certified as a database developer, as a database administrator, as a business intelligence developer. And these exam tracks, these certification tracks, they walk you through kind of step by step what the tasks are in each given role. And so I figured, why not go ahead and get certified in this? If nothing else, maybe the certification isn't necessarily worth so much, but the fact that you have a structured study path, I think that's hugely or highly valuable, to basically say, hey, these are the tasks that my supervisor, my boss, that these are the things that they do on a day-to-day basis. And because maybe you don't see the things that they do behind the scenes. So studying for those exams kind of helped kind of open my eyes to what the career looks like. Now, just because you've got your eyes open to what the job might look like on paper, actually performing those tasks can be, I guess, a bit of a challenge. So, hold on a second. I had to pause there for a second. My cat was going crazy. Anyway, so kind of trying to figure out what the next step in your career is going to be. It can be kind of daunting, especially if you haven't done it yet. So a lot of times your employer, I'd assume, would give you the freedom to kind of explore and test out new tools, but doing that in a production environment is kind of scary, and especially if you've got things you have to focus on in your day-to-day life. So what I wanted to do was try to create a way to simulate a production environment, and I wanted to be able to have something that I could truly debug. And while there are some cool toy databases out there like AdventureWorks, I wanted something that was more of my own. And so what I did was I actually went out and I purchased a refurbished desktop computer for about a little over $200. It's a Core i5. I think it's got like three gigahertz processor. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. It's got a terabyte of hard disk space. So I mean, it'll be kind of my little toy server for right now. So I'll just leave that guy running. The data, though, that was what was going to be tricky, was actually bringing in a live data source. So what I chose for my data source was to use the stock market prices. So if we go over here to Apple's stock price on NASDAQ, you can see you can see their name, their symbol is up here, their symbol is AAPL. You can see the price, and I had a small interest in learning Python a while back, and I remember taking this course on not taking a course, but watching a video on web scraping. And so what I thought would be cool would be, well, instead of just web scraping at one time and just learning how to web scrape, which while that's a cool skill to have, I think if nothing else, we could schedule that as a job that would bring in a lot of records. And we can use that as kind of our simulation of a production environment. Because in data warehousing, what you're going to do is you're typically going to have a lot of data that comes in, and you're going to need to populate your warehouse on a nightly basis or a weekly basis or however often. So I feel like this would be something that would give us a chance to really have a nice bulk amount of data that comes in on a regular basis, and we can debug it and we can solve problems along the way. So for myself, this is something that I'm already going to be doing, and I figured I might as well document these steps along the way and share them with other people who are trying to figure out how to do this. So don't be intimidated. We're not going to use a lot of Python. I'm not great at it, so the application that I'm going to run is going to be pretty simple, but it's pretty cool that we can have something that really simulates a live business intelligence type of environment. So yeah, hopefully you have fun along the way. Hopefully we both learn something together, and I look forward to seeing how this project progresses.